Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network and the Man Cave After Dark Truck Series, brought to you by the Ultimate Conquest Racing League. Tonight, we are at the Paperclip in Ridgeway, Virginia. That's right, the Martinsville Speedway. Half-mile track here, very little banking, only 12 degrees of banking in these corners, and really, if you're taking a look at it, only one strip that you can really run on, and that's down there on that fresh, I believe it's concrete down on the bottom, but yeah, it is concrete as I'm just looking here. And yeah, it's short track racing, and it's exactly where me and Jimmy want to be, in the booth watching this race and hoping these guys put on a good show like they always do. But it's certainly going to be interesting here, as we are getting now to it's about a third of the way through the season at this point, as this is now going to be race number 8 of 20. And starting to shape up here a little bit when it comes to the points, when it comes to the team points, everything like that. But right now we see Chris Stouffer at the top of the boards for the individual point standings, and Full Throttle Motorsports at the top of the points for the team. But Jimmy, I mean, as gently as you can put it, how are you doing tonight?
Well, I'm doing great. I don't have to worry about trying to make it around these tight turns on flat banking and run with these guys here and ruin somebody's race tonight, and I'll actually enjoy the race. So, but right now, I mean, these guys are out there doing their thing. Jordan Wenzel up top in that number 81 truck, with a 19.4, with Travis Bennett not too far behind, and Chris Bouchard being your top 3 right now for practice as it stands, as it's coming to an end here in roughly about 15 seconds. But these guys are doing a great job here with the team standings. We were saying Full Throttle Motorsports out front with 37.05, Mid-Pack Motorsports with 32.05, and Turn and Burn Racing at 3200. So the run for second place is still up for grabs, and a very close one there altogether. With your points chase here, we'll go ahead and I'll put those up on the screen real quick. But Chris Stouffer out the lead there. Nice, pretty comfortable lead over Eric Jeffers and Grady Gherkin. Then Andrew Ratcliffe, Carl Bartles, Travis Bennett, Jeremy Little, Jerry West, Robert Colgan, and Christopher Bouchard round out your top 10 in points for these guys here at the Man Cave After Dark Truck Series for this season here. So, yeah, but we're definitely coming down to, we're at round 8 here at Martinsville. 175 laps on tap. They have 4 extra sets of tires over the wall. They have a 1 reset, 1 green-white attempt. They do have a lucky dog, of course, as cautions might happen here. And pretty good weather here, not too bad, as we showed earlier. So but I'm looking forward to see what these guys can do, as it looks like Chris Bouchard has put down a lap time and already being beat by Brent Kirby with a 19.385. Actually, those guys were tied, and they gave it to Brent.
Yeah, one thing we've seen, if you've seen the practice times there, I mean, everybody here is separated by less than half a second, and it's the time means a lot more here, being at a short track, but still a half a second separating the entire field is a very, very small margin. So we'll see how everything shakes out. Last time we were at a short track was Myrtle Beach a few weeks ago, and we've seen Chris Bouchard take the win there with Jerry West, Eric Jeffers rounding out your top 3, and Ratcliffe and Bennett rounding out your top 5. Bennett is going to be our in-race reporter here tonight, so we'll see if he can duplicate his good finish there at the Myrtle Beach Speedway, and maybe come back and get an even better finish here at Martinsville, as he was P2 on the boards here in practice. So we'll see how he does out here in qualifying. But if you're new to the series here, the series has no playoffs or anything like that. It is straight points for the entire series. There's no drop races, no nothing. It is just straight old school points, the way probably the way it should be. To some purists out there, and it means a lot to have consistency all the way through. Right now, Stouffer, the only one to grab 2 wins on the season, and you have 3 others that have. Chris Bouchard was the first one to grab 2 wins. Stouffer the second one to grab a second win, but Stouffer a little bit more consistent with 5 top 5s, 6 top 10s, with Bouchard only having those 2 top 5s being his wins and then 1 other top 10. So that's why you see Stouffer at the top of the boards, Bouchard all the way down there in 10th. But you see Bouchard having some speed here. He won again, like I said, at Myrtle Beach. So I'm sure he's looking for win number 3 here tonight to try and climb those points.
Yeah, they want to do everything possible to get as many points as they can here. It looks like we have roughly, 60, 70. We have 23 drivers in the field right now. We have 16 drivers with times in. We still have Eric Jeffers, Robert Colgan, Andrew Ratcliffe, Jerry West, Justin Kirby, Joe Hurd, and Christopher Spencer still needing to put in times unless they did get out there and, maybe not have the best of laps, as, Martinsville can be a beast, if you're trying to push your truck and you just tap the wall just slightly, giving you a 0x, your time won't count. But Justin Kirby getting a time in there, pulling in towards the back of the pack. But so it looks like Eric Jeffers, Robert Colgan, Andrew Ratcliffe, Jerry West, Joe Hurd, Christopher Spencer, all names we've talked about in the past and seen run up front. Looks like as of right now, they'll be starting in the back tonight.
In the meantime, before we end up with qualifying being over here, we'll bring in one of the drivers for Full Throttle Motorsports leading the team points right now. Travis, you've had a pretty decent season so far. You're sitting P6 in the points right now. Last short track we went to, as we mentioned, you finished in the top 5 there at Myrtle Beach. Now we come to another short track here in Martinsville. Definitely, a different monster here with the paperclip. But how's the truck feeling out there tonight? What do you think your chances are?
Well, it kind of threw a curveball in it. I noticed that the track temp went down by only 2 degrees from practice to qualifying, and I'm telling you, 2 degrees doesn't seem like a whole lot, but the truck felt completely different in qualifying. We should have went a little bit farther on the brake bias, but hey, we're going to try to manage it and see if we can survive.
Yeah, I almost feel like this is the kind of track that you almost need to drive like a road course when it comes to the brake bias. You kind of have to constantly be tweaking it and getting your different feels, whether you're out in clean air, whether it's stuck in traffic, whether it's on lap 10 or lap 50, you're constantly kind of fiddling with it. Am I right on that?
Correct. And that's kind of sort of my background, where I came from. I kind of favorite road courses more than ovals to begin with. I'm hoping it plays into my wheelhouse here.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we had some road courses on the schedule here for you to help you out. But looks like we got the one coming up at Watkins Glen in 2 weeks, so you got that maybe to look forward to. But before we let you get back in the truck here for tonight, anybody you want to send a shout out to or any thanks to?
I just want to shout out to Scott, man. Everybody knows how hard it is to run leagues when you try to balance leagues and family life and stuff like that, and he does an excellent job.
All right, well, we will wish you luck, and we'll try and bring you in if there's any kind of cautions. Hopefully you're not involved in them, but we'll try and get you in here. If not, maybe we'll talk to you in the top 3 at the end.
Sure thing, man.
All right, good luck out there, buddy.
All right, thanks.
All right, that is Travis Bennett, driver of the number 6, qualified in 6th. Why don't you give us a rundown of everybody's qualifying times there, Jimmy?
Yeah, the rundown tonight where everybody's going to start. Brent Kirby out in front this week on the pole here at Martinsville with Chris Bouchard in 2nd, Jordan Wenzel in 3rd, Grady Gherkin in 4th, Jeremy Little in 5th, Travis Bennett in 6th, Trevor Hunt, John Williams, Chris Stouffer, Matthew Greathouse round out your top 10, TJ DeBlasi, Peter Porzuchek back in 12th, Jake Lesh, tonight's sponsor, back there in 13th, 14th Scott Bolster, 15th Tim Glass, 16th Justin Kirby, 17 Tony Japs, 18 Andrew Ratcliffe, and let me force forward us here just so I get the rest of the people here. 19th Eric Jeffers, 20 Jerry West, 21 Christopher Spencer, 22 Robert Colgan, and 23rd Joe Hurd. So 23 trucks around here at Martinsville. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, this is going to be something for sure, and just do want to give a shout out once again, as Jimmy mentioned, Jake Lesh, the sponsor here tonight. And this is the Leroy Jenkins 175. So good luck to all the drivers out there. They were already warned for anybody that is a NASCAR fan. There will be no moves holding it wide open around the outside of the wall here. They will get disqualified. There will be none of that. No Hail Melons. and nobody trying to gain some positions like that. So we'll see how these guys keep it off the walls and hopefully keep it off each other and run this thing down. But we are out there pacing. You're taking a look right there at the sixth machiner and race reporter of Travis Bennett. Again, had some pretty good runs so far this season, has yet to crack the win column, so certainly looking to do so tonight, and he's got CRN's blessing, so we'll see what happens out there.
Yeah, he's looking forward to it, I'm sure, as these guys are starting to get it and get ready to go here, as I need to hit this live button, hit this race button, pull up the track map so you guys can tell where they're at as they're getting ready to go green here. But right now they're on the backstretch in 3, coming out of 4, and getting ready to go green.
So it is going to be Brett Kirby, Chris.
Wrong end of the track. I was on. Sorry about that.
one more to go, Jimmy.
One more to go.
Yeah. So you got Brett Kirby, Chris Bouchard on the front row, separated by, well, nothing. There was 0, 0, 0 in between these two guys on the front row. That's how close it is. That's how close everybody is right now. Barney waving that green flag. It is race time here at Martinsville, and already battling, already trying to hold down that front row is Chris Bouchard from the outside. Not easy to do it here at Martinsville. It's typically inside dominant, but the 28 putting all kinds of battle on that second groove right now. Brett Kirby now going to show a little bit of muscle and driving in there a little deeper, and he is going to clear the 28 and get out to the lead. Everybody's starting to shuffle in. And again, this is going to be one of those tracks where you want to get down to the bottom. If you're in second place, you're towards the back there. You probably want to do like what you see Chris Bouchard do right there. Just, kind of run it maybe in the middle a little bit and then kind of dive down to the bottom. It'll help you save a little bit of tires and get a good run off the corner. That's going to be your best opportunity to pass, as it looks like the 28 is all over the backside of that 95.
Yeah, 28 putting pressure on the 95. Andrew Ratcliffe coming out of the pits. So he's already feeling the heat of the leaders, so hopefully he has some speed here tonight, as those guys will need to try to get by him, as he's keeps a small interval in front of the 95 of Brent Kirby and Chris Bouchard. But these guys are single file right now, trying to get some of these laps down, as we are already on lap about to complete lap 4 of 175. It looks like a John Williams Sr. having a little incident, kind of falling to the back. He's down to the inside. So collecting this car there, I'm trying to see if I can find out where it happened to him. I think that was right here. We'll see what happened to Williams. Oh, just went down, tagged the wall just a little bit, and a single car accident. So that 5 car has a little bit of damage there, and going to go around. But we have a wreck here by our sponsor, by Jake Lesh, and we'll go back and we'll replay that and we'll see what happened to Jake. Oh, and just a little bit too much gas coming out of the corner right there, and spins it around. Light tap to the inside of the wall, but it looks like he's just going to lose some positions, because obviously everybody's all packed up. But single car spin, full course caution. These boys will be stacking back up.
Yeah, no offense to TJ Jablassi, but he made the unlucky car out there look like first it was Williams Sr. in front of him that spun out coming out of the corner, and then right there you've seen Jake Lesh spinning out behind him. So I guess right now you want to avoid that 78 truck. It seems like it's got some demons hanging around it right there. But this is certainly something that some of the guys like Williams and even Ratcliffe want to see. Not sure what happened with Ratcliffe on the start there, but he was kind of stuck basically in front of the leaders there. So not sure if he had a little bit of incident to start the race too, but he'll be able to get cleaned up and get back out there and regain and rejoin the field back at the back instead of essentially at the front, not where you want to be though.
Yeah, it's not where you want to start the race. Being threatened to be put a lap down off from the rip And this year might be in John Williams Sr.'s best interest. That he caught that early caution and was able to regain control of his truck, and maybe if the damage was that bad, get the fast rear that they have here. But he'll have to be obviously tiptoe the rest of the night, as Martinsville will definitely throw you a bone you don't want every now and then, and put some damage on that car. Good thing you just need all the engine power. You don't need so much for your aerodynamics of this track.
Yeah, for a lot of people, I'm sure the only way they want to think about paper clips is being put on papers and filed away. But this is a track that some drivers really enjoy, and it's almost like, I said it in the pre-race about a road course. You kind of have your Martinsville specialists that you'll find towards the front, and obviously if you're a good driver, you'll find your way to the front regardless. As you see Bouchard up there, and he's been up there a bunch of different races, but you will find some drivers out there that are just Martinsville specialists, just like you have road course specialists. And you see some different names up there, like you see Jordan Wenzel up there, you see Trevor Hunt up there as well. But we are back racing here at said paperclip, and it is back to the lead for Brent Kirby. Almost gave up the inside there to Bouchard, but he's able to close it off just in time as those guys race down the backstretch. Too wide back there for fourth place, as Gherkin trying to hold off Little trying to get by him on the inside, but looks like Gherkin's going to have a little bit of a drive off the edge, but just not enough to clear. Now he's going to drive it hard into turn one, and he will clear the 55, get back down to the inside, but another caution, and that happened back in the field. Looked like it involved Matthew Greathouse. Take a look at that once again, going into turn one, and he gets tagged from Jeffers from behind and sends him sliding down across the track. Not sure if he was able to save it. Looks like Bolster getting hit from behind by the 00 as well. That is Jerry West. And then 17 and 58 sliding in there as well. Doesn't look like anybody took too much damage. Maybe the 17 getting a little bit of damage on the inside there. The 79 then getting into the 58. So maybe I spoke a little bit too soon about no damage, as we get some late incidents there with the 79 of Colgan getting into the 58 of Justin Kirby, as it was a bit of a traffic jam there in turn one. But they do get everything cleaned up and righted, and we got a bunch of people taking in pit lane right now, I'm sure, fixing a bunch of damage. And I guess if you're up there with with the leaders like Brent Kirby, Chris Bouchard, and Jordan Wenzel, those guys will be more than happy to just kind of run this thing out for quite some time under yellow. It's less battling that they have to do, but this is going to get a little hairy before it kind of works its way out. It's everybody's trying to find their feet, and like Travis Bennett said, a couple degrees, even 1 degree of temperature difference is going to make these trucks feel completely different. And I think you're kind of seeing it right now with everybody just getting used to how it feels, getting used to everybody else's braking points and everything like that. And it's something that it goes without saying when it comes to these short tracks, is people brake at different points. Some people like to dive it in late and brake hard. Some people like to ease in the brakes and kind of roll into the corners. And if you're coming up on one or the other and you're not ready for it, that's exactly what can happen right there. You see Jeffers getting into the back of a Greathouse. But we will re-rack these guys once again and get back going. We are completing lap 15. Looks like the 00 Jerry West going to get the wave around, and we'll get these guys double back up and get ready to go back racing. It is still Kirby and Bouchard on the front row here. Wenzel, Gherkin on the second row, and Little and Bennett on the third row as they come out of turn 4. Again, Kirby getting a nice jump, clears the 28, moves his way up there to get a good entry into turn 1, and he will lead once again. As it looks like third and fourth gets situated, fourth and fifth gets situated, but now a move a bit late there, and our in-race reporter goes for quite a ride there. And we'll have to take a look at that one once again, as it looked like it might have been Trevor Hunt, I believe, that was trending at the inside.
59.
Yeah, looks like a little netco between the 78 and the 59 sends him into the 6.
Peter hit him
and that
hard.
sends a 6 around pretty hard, and then Porzuchek getting involved as well, but that was started by netcode between the 78 and 59. So again, I bring up those demons. I think there's something going on with that 78 here tonight. And unfortunately, it did not end well for in-race reporter there, Travis Bennett.
Yeah, plenty of time to get back up to the front, but somebody that has a little incentive to get to the front and possibly win tonight is Jake Lesh, as Melinda out there said, if you win tonight, you get the garage cleaned. So you might want to get your tail to the front, get that your garage all cleaned up for you there, buddy. But it's good to see that the fans are out in force again and rooting on their favorite drivers. And if you have any drivers out there that you want to root for, or if you want to see a certain camera angle, let us know, and we'll gladly give them a little bit of TV time here and talk about them just a little bit. But somebody that doesn't really need that's going from the back to the front right now is Eric Jeffers, as he's up to the 9th position. He's up 10 spots from having a not too good of a start, but working his way through traffic, through those incidents right now is the number 4 of Eric Jeffers.
Yeah, and getting back to Lesh, I mean, he's moved his way all the way back up to 13th position. He was involved in that first incident, sliding in the back, and he was all the way in the back. So a great bounce back for him, and maybe he's reading those messages as we go along here, and yeah, he kind of stepped his foot on the gas a little bit more there. So a little bit more than just the sponsor that he's running for here tonight, and I don't blame him. And certainly got to see your end. Got your back here. We're rooting for you. You may not be the in-race reporter, but we certainly love giveaways, and even if it's somebody cleaning your garage, we'll take it.
I want somebody to clean my garage.
Yeah, who we got to root for? Who we got to root for that? All right, we are 21 laps. Actually, we made 21 laps in the books this time by, and should be seeing the 1 to green here once again. Still got some guys coming out of the pits. Looks like the 00 of West, the 17 of Chris Spencer also coming out. Looks like the 6 of Travis Bennett waiting on the back stretch just to get to the back of the field. But we are going to be doubled up again. Same story up front. It is the 95 and 28 of Kirby and Bouchard. Wenzel, Gherkin in the 2nd row. Little and now Hunt in the 3rd row. And the Demon 20, or the Demon 78 there of TJ DeBlasi right there in 7th place right now. So I'd be weary if you were Trevor Hunt there or Christopher, but we are back racing here at Martinsville. Not as good of a start this time from Kirby, but he does have the inside, and he will have the advantage going into turn 1 and 2. Bouchard fighting his way on the outside, still not clear, and it's going to be a battle side by side into turn 3. Big dive into the outside from Bouchard. He's going to have a great advantage coming off the corner, and does it on the outside. What a pass by Chris Bouchard here this early in the race. That is not easy, and that's putting it very, very mildly by trying to make a pass on the outside here at Martinsville on anybody, let alone for the lead. Great pass there as that moves Kirby back to 2nd. Battle for 3rd here as Gherkin looks to the inside of Wenzel. Nothing there yet. He's going to fall back in line a little behind him, and DeBlasi now up to 6th place. Hunt, Jeffers, and Stouffer and Ratcliffe making up your top 10. So Ratcliffe, great bounce back there, and maybe spoke a little bit too soon. Gets in the back of Stouffer, and luckily everybody notices him sitting in the middle of the track, and everybody avoids him nicely. But just as the 24 gets back up there, he gets involved, and you see right there sitting on the outside wall. Not the way he wanted to enjoy finally making it up to the top 10.
No, I mean, we just called him out there as you could just kind of see what happened. I just said check up just a little bit more than they wanted to, and just kind of spun around pretty easily. Chris Bolster or Scott goes up into the wall. Kind of everybody checks up for Andrew Ratcliffe, so it doesn't look like too much damage here for the number 24 as he gets that car turned around, letting the 13 go by as the caution is out. And I'm sure those guys will be back down in pit lane, get some more repairs done. It also gives some time for the guys that have some damage to the car, as pit lane entry is pretty long here, and and the track is short, so don't get much time for the pit crews to do much work and get these cars all prettied up there to get back out without a fast repair. So, but some guys coming down right now, as it looks like Peter Pozorczyk, Jerry West, John Williams Sr., Chris Spencer, Robert Colgan, Justin Kirby is out for the. Looks like Justin Kirby is parked there for tonight, and Travis Bennett is back there, a couple laps down right now. So he's got some work to do, but definitely going to need the cautions to kind of keep on rolling to get his laps back here, as Chris Richard, Brent Kirby, Jordan Wenzel, Grady Gherkin, and Jeremy Little are your top 5 currently.
Yeah, I mean, this is a track where damage doesn't necessarily mean as much. Obviously, it's not an aero dependent track. You don't have that long of a straightaway to have aero work for or against you, but it could make some gains or losses in the corners. So you do want to try and make sure everything is straight, or round for that matter, and where it needs to be. But yeah, not much time to do it here without a fast repair. If you're not using your fast repair and they're trying to bang that thing out, they're not going to get that much done under caution, unless you're going to sit there and kind of take it to the chin and go down as many laps as you need to get fixed up. But our guys up front still doing well, and now we got the 78 up to 6th place. So I guess keep an eye right there, as again the action's been happening around the 78. He's been clean, and don't mean to keep calling him out like this, but I guess so far so good for him. The wrecks are happening all around him.
I mean, he does have tracker on the side of his truck, so I mean he's tracking just fine, and the other trucks just need to avoid him. So maybe he's got a hidden Ouija board or something under there. He's got the power to summon some demons or something left over from Halloween. But anyways, Chris Richard, Brett Kirby out front, Jordan Wenzel, Grady Gherkin in 4th, Jeremy Little, TJ DeBlasi there in 6th, Trevor Hunt and Eric Jeffers in the 4th row, Tony Japs and Jake Lesh round out your top 10.
I think De Blasi may need to change his paint scheme to a Mario Kart paint scheme after this, because he's throwing those red shells up front, he's throwing those banana peels out back, and either way it's working right now. But we are getting ready to go back racing now, and now Bouchard is your control truck, and he is elected the inside, Kirby on the outside, trying to get a good jump with him. But Bouchard gets a fantastic jump, going to easily move to the outside now. Kirby's got to worry about Wenzel on the inside, and he's going to be the one that defends from the outside. Not going to be able to do it. He's going to fall back into 3rd, as a little bit of a stack up in the back there, but everybody does keep it going so far. See if we can complete a lap here, as it's still getting a little tasty back there. But everybody's still filing out nicely, and even getting tasty up front there. So I don't think these guys realize that they got 140 laps to go, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's almost like it's the last 10 laps of the race at times, but these guys have always put on a good show. They're always racing hard. It doesn't matter to them whether it's lap 20 or lap 170. These guys are pushing just as hard, putting on a great show here. Right now up with the the 59 of Trevor Hunt. Only down one spot there with Eric Jeffers moving to the outside of that monster truck with a number 4. So it's kind of hard to see, as he's been doing some banging around up there. Jake Lesser is right now up to 9th spot, so up 4 spots so far tonight. Jeremy Little having a good run here tonight, as he had a pretty decent start here. You can see that definitely has a little bit of rear end damage, as somebody checked it up just a little bit too late and ruining just put a little damage on that truck. But he seems to be doing pretty good here right now at the moment, as he's sitting in 5th spot.
Yeah, I am not saying his name at all tonight, the number 55, because he has had way too much bad luck this season so far, and you've seen him up front a lot of races, and just one thing or another puts him in the back. So I refuse to say his name all night until till the end if he finishes in the top 3. So good job so far by the number 55, but seen a couple guys take to pit road, as it looks like the 5 of John Williams Sr. in pit road, getting some repairs done, and the 52 of Porzuchek now in pit road as well. So both those guys have not retired yet, still getting some work done. Travis Bennett now back there 3 laps down, so rough night, rough start for our in-race reporter, and really needing some cautions here to get back some of those laps, as he is 3 laps down right now. First guy a lap down, so he would get a lucky dog would another caution come out, but these guys have finally single filed out. Looks like Brzucek back going again here, coming out of the pit road, but up front it is Bouchard, followed by Wenzel, Kirby, Gherkin, and Little, as Stouffer makes a move on the inside. That is the battle for 11th position, actually 12th position. But up there, up front, so you got de Blasi, Hunt, Jeffers, Lesh, and Japs round out your top 10.
Yeah, I was just looking at Stouffer back there at a 13 and realized his truck's white tonight, not mirrored. So looks like the spec map has changed, bringing in the color of the size of that truck here tonight, as we get the white version with the dark blue, and looks pretty good there, Chris, and just to let you know. And then back there in 8, Joe Hurd, haven't seen or heard from him lately, but doing a pretty good job there, sitting at 13th, up 10 positions for a star so far tonight, and that Toyota number 8.
Yeah, not sure if Stouffer changes paint scheme here for the darker kind of night race here at Martinsville. And one of the few times we've get to see Martinsville here under the lights. It's been a day track for the longest time before they put in lights, and I'd have to take a look at when they put in lights. It was only a few years ago in real life, and obviously it's captured here in iRacing now as well. But these guys now get to do a battle under the lights, as we're seeing Gherkin doing a little bit of battle with the wall coming out of turn 2 right there, getting into it a little bit, but he is still going. But you see the outside of that Logitech truck a little bit rough for wear. But out front, Bouchard starting to check out now a little bit, out to a half a second lead over Wenzel. Another half a second back to Kirby. 0.7 of a second back to Gherkin, and then another 0.4 of a second back to Little. And there you go. I said it. So I apologize, Jeremy, if something happens to you. I absolutely apologize.
It's all Carl's fault.
Well, I broke the cherry now, so I might as well just go ahead and talk about him. But yeah, still up there in the top 5, and he's got de Blasi behind him, I mean,
his rear end of his truck has been reformed to the front bumper of another truck. So, but the 78 putting him a little under a little bit of pressure there, trying to take that 5th spot away. So, 78 is really trying to get around here, trying to get. Just move just a little bit faster around the track than Jeremy is right now, as Jeremy's kind of maybe taking his time. Maybe that little bit of damage is affecting his truck just a little bit, and not so much on the truck of TJ de Blasi, and that 78 as they is sitting in 6th, trying to take that 5th spot away from Jeremy Little. But somebody that doesn't have any problems right at the moment is Chris Bouchard, as he is out to a little over a half a second lead over Jordan Wenzel, as Jordan also changed his paint scheme up from the green machine, the Sprunk machine, to that kind of like a bluish color there for that 81.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's working nicely for him right now, as he is doing a good job, and that lead is actually shrunk down now. It is down under a half a second, and he is starting to reel in Bouchard in a decent clip here. Not sure if Bouchard's getting just maybe a little bit tight behind the lap car there, of just trying to look and see if that was yeah, there's Robert Colgan in front of him there, as these guys you see on the track map spread out across the entire track now, and that's how quickly it can happen here at Martinsville. And just like that, that's how quickly it can happen that we got down with 50 laps, as we're now on lap 52. So these guys, once they get green, they are starting to click these laps away pretty quickly here in the Leroy Jenkins 175.
Yeah, a little background of Leroy Jenkins, old, well, I could say old, it's been around for quite some years now. I think it's up around the 15-year mark. World of Warcraft, early stages, Leroy Jenkins, as a, you know, this is more for Ross Chastain, as we all know, the Ross Chastain pulled off a move last week, or last weekend, to get himself into the Final Four by just holding it wide open and using the wall here. But it's sort of like we call it, kind of like a lot of video gamers out there know it as maybe like a Leroy Jenkins moment, and just kind of just go in there and not really care much. And it's a pretty good clip. So if you Google Leroy Jenkins, you'll come up with a World of Warcraft clip of a player just kind of AFK and then coming back out of being AFK, and his group's just waiting on him, and he just runs into a room full of monsters and whatnot, and causes some chaos. And it's pretty funny if you're into that type of thing. But that was a good thing there, and I think it's a fitting name for this for tonight's race, as Martinsville is a short track, you know, and a lot of times to get it done, you just have to almost, you know, send it in there and put your nose in there where, you know, the other driver might not want you to be.
So as we were watching there, it looks like Wenzel put his nose out a little bit too far in a few corners back to back, and he lost some of that ground that he was gaining on Bouchard, and he fell back quite a bit, as he is now back to 1.3 seconds back behind. But getting back to the race sponsorship, as we talk about every week, you know, these guys would love to have all their races sponsored, and right now there's still a few more on the schedule looking to be sponsored. So if you are interested, please make sure you get a hold of Scott Bolster, myself, Jimmy, anybody that's involved with the league. We'll try and get you to the right avenues to get a sponsor out there, whether you want to sponsor it for, you know, for yourself, for a family member, for a good cause, for a business, for a place you work, wherever it is. Either way, they're you know, they're happy to oblige, and so are we to get your name out there. But right now, these guys are doing a good job. They finally found a bit of a groove here, and starting to run down these laps pretty nicely. And Jake Lesh doing a good job, and he's got that clean garage to look forward to, hopefully at the end of the night here, as he is now up to 8th position. That is up 5 positions from his start. Right in front of him is the 4, well, maybe not right in front of him, but up a ways just a little bit is the 4 of Eric Jeffers. He is up 12 positions. That is our biggest mover of the race here tonight, and doing a pretty good job up here. But right now your top 10 is Bouchard, Wenzel, Kirby, Gurnett, Little, Hunt, Jeffers, Lesh, DeBlasi, and Stouffer.
Yeah, everybody's up there doing a really good job. Trevor Hunt kind of working his way up there quietly, slowly but quietly, just nice and steady there. He's the one of the drivers there, the Black Magic Motorsports there, and you know, he's got that portrait of his dog up there, so it's always entertaining to see when we click on his name. But doing a good job. He's up, you know, pretty much just holding his own where he started. He's at one spot, and you know, continue to have a good run here tonight. Somebody we haven't talked about too much yet tonight is Jerry West. That 00 has found himself, you know, up front in multiple races, and right now he's up 9 spots, up in the 11th position, and then 19th of Tony Japs back there in 12th spot, and bringing the Tide truck back, and up 5 spots. Is currently sitting at 12th.
Yeah, Jerry West, one of those guys where you typically find him towards the front or towards the end of the race. So we'll see him slowly start to move his way towards the front. He was involved in an earlier wreck there and slowly starting to work his way back up, as is Andrew Radcliffe back there in 14th, trying to work his way back up. Matthew Greathouse right in front of him, involved in one of those wrecks as well, going all the way to the back, actually involved with Andrew Radcliffe. So both those guys maybe got their differences aside, and they're starting to work their way both together back up to the front of the field, as they are 13th and 14th. Stouffer now getting past De Blasi for 9th place as well up there. So still some passing going on. It can certainly happen here at Martinsville, especially when these guys start to click off these laps and start to have some tire wear. Depending on how you're driving the truck, it can get tighter on the long run, it can get looser on the long run, all depending on which tires you're wearing more. So we'll see how these drivers handle it as we start to get a little deeper in this run, and maybe speaking a little too soon, and that was a little generous with the caution there for the 17 of Chris Spencer. Got a little sideways on the front stretch, did get it corrected, but we will have another yellow, and I'm sure these guys are happy about that, especially the ones that were struggling with their tires. Maybe the guys up front like Bouchard, Wenzel, maybe not so happy, but that is another caution here brought out by the 17.
Yeah, just bringing it around just ever so slightly, and no contact with a wall or anything or anybody, as the leader was right behind Spencer when this happened. So got the car straight. 17 is rolling back to where it needs to be going, and but the boys are coming in. Chris Bouchard, Brent Kirby, Jordan Wenzel, Grady Gherkin, Jeremy Little, Trevor Hunt, Chris Stouffer, TJ Jablasi, Matt Greathouse, Jake Les, Scott Bolster, Tony Jabs. I mean, all these guys coming in. I mean, we're at 77, almost, we're at lap 69, about to complete lap 69. So these guys, I mean, I'm for sure, I would be taking tires, because you don't want to be out there with old tires, and you guys have another 50 lap green flag run, and then you're just going to you'll be in the back anyways. So might as well just come in, take your chances, get some fresh fuel, fresh tires, get this thing topped off. Looks like the let's see, our in-race reporter there will stay out and try to get that, at least that wave around, to get to the back of the pack here, as he's now in front of the leaders, along with Chris Spencer. And hopefully, I'm sure these guys are hoping that another caution will happen. So Travis Bennett did not get the lucky dog, because there was one other truck that was a lap down.
Yeah, he did not get the lucky dog, but it looks like Spencer going to stay out to get a wave around. Bennett going to stay out to get a wave around. Berzuchek going to get the wave around as well, as the lead truck is going to be Bouchard. Wenzel going to be in second. Kirby, Gherkin, and Hunt going to round out your top 5 here for the restart. So now these guys get a chance to take one of those sets of tires if they haven't already. I'm sure they're going to get a little racy here with these fresh tires. As you see, Bolster still in the pits right there, and hopefully he gets that thing fired up and going as the. Yep, there we go. I was going to say the pace truck is coming out of turn 4, so he will get back out there and stay on the lead lap as well. So you see the guys getting their wave rounds, 17, 6, and 52 all getting their wave rounds. So we will group these guys back up one more time. 71 laps in the books. It's going to be 72 at the green flag here, as everybody looking to catch up. We'll see if they go green this time, as some of the guys are still catching back up. Not sure if they're going to wave it off here or not. Looks like we are good to go. And it is going to be Chris Bouchard at the front once again. Now Wenzel at the outside. We'll see if Kirby on the inside gets a good jump, as Bouchard struggling with some internet issues there, blinking out a couple times. Wenzel does clear Kirby, but Kirby had a little look on the inside on the outside.
Yeah, Grady getting just a little bit loose on that outside, trying to get that spin off, or that run off out of the exits. Was able to keep it under control, and that right there is right in front of Jeremy Little, as the Trevor Hunt of the 59 looking to the inside of the 13 to take away the 6th position. Oh, and the 4, Eric Jeffers up high.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard the High Line can work at Martinsville, but that's ridiculous up there. So I don't think it's as far as Jeffers wanted to be as he gets it back in line, battling with Les right now, just to kind of hang on to the top 10 right now, as that is the battle for 10th place. As you see right in front of them, the 24 of Ratcliffe, in front of him the 00 of West. So some of your I don't want to say heavier hitters, but guys that we're typically seeing up towards the front and having a chance here, starting to find their way towards the front here as we get towards the middle of this race. And now that we're back going and everybody is kind of shuffled out here a little bit, I think is the best time to give you a little sights and sounds here of Martinsville Speedway. Give you a little taste of love to hear at the paperclip.
Turn her up for some love to hear.
Oh. Let's just go ahead and hold that thought there, Jimmy.
As I'm just getting ready to click on stuff, it looks like Tony Chaps takes a little love tap there from the 78, sends it around and gets hit by glass, and then the 8 hits the inside wall. Scott is able to miss. The 6 is able to stay uninvolved there, so he's going to get one of his laps back. So Travis Bennett looking to get one more lap back here, is staying out, getting that wave round paid off for him here, and I'm sure he'll get his lucky dog and maybe get in and get some, at least a little some right side tires or something to get his tires back up to snuff here the rest of the field.
Well, now here's what I'm wondering though, Jimmy, with him actually stopping there to avoid the incident, is it still going to give him the lucky dog? Realistically, he should get the lucky dog, but because he stopped, it's going to think that he was involved in the wreck, unfortunately. So, wondering if he will indeed get the lucky dog. So, they will bring him in here in a little bit and see if that is indeed the case. I mean, it's good that he missed the incident there, because obviously that would have hurt him a lot more. But it's one of those things where you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Well, it might be one of those things. The admins here, they've been doing a pretty good job about calling. I think they're on iRacing cautions, but I'm sure they have the ability to, if something like that to happen, to make it right if it is like that, and if not, if they just go by what iRacing says is what we do. I mean, a lot of leagues will do that. That way there's no arguing. If iRacing messes up, they mess up. So it'd be unfortunate though, as he was able to avoid and not be involved in that accident. So we'll see here when we get down to time, but it looks like he is going to get to go around. So
yeah, we'll go ahead and bring him in here as he gets that wave around. And yeah, Travis, we were just wondering if you were going to get the wave around there, since you kind of stopped to avoid that incident, but you were in the lucky dog position, so hoping to get you at least back to one lap down. So I mean, the fight to come back is fully underway. You were down 3 laps and now down to 1 lap, so I guess one more lucky dog, one more lucky position with a caution here, you're back in the mix.
Yeah, man, I hope so. I don't know what happened to put me in this position, but hey, if it wasn't bad luck, it wouldn't happen to me.
Well, as of right now, you're in a good position, lucky dog position wise, and best position to get a lap back. And we'll let you do what you need to do here. We just wanted to kind of check in with you, let you get your. I thought you were going in the pits there for a second.
No, I'm trying to decide if I need to go in the pits or not. I've got old tires, man. I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna ride it out.
All right. Well, we won't bother you here. We'll let you get back to it and get you back on the lead lap, hopefully.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
All right. Again, that's your inner supporter, the 6 of Travis Bennett. Certainly a bit of a rough start for him, but we are getting ready to go back green here, and I think it's a situation there where he wanted to go in the pits, but since it was already 2 to green, it was almost kind of too late to go in the pits, so he kind of got screwed by not getting the initial wave around, and the lucky dog and the admins were nice enough to give him the wave around, but since it was a little bit later, he wasn't able to come in and get service. But we got a little bit of a battle now, as Wenzel was not able to clear the 95 with Kirby. Yeah, a little bit of a move there, and now he spins in front of the field. Lesh does get around on the outside, brush the wall a little bit though, And now the 59 is going to get back around here, as that was Trevor Hunt. We'll take a look back and see who he got into. It looks like Stouffer gets the 59 sideways and into Jeremy Little. And I can't. I mean, maybe for his case, we just need to make him the designated in-race reporter for the rest of the season, and just to try and give him a chance, because it just it's heartbreaking every time we see it every week. I mean, it's, we don't have a favorite one way or another, but when we see a driver that is a decent driver and just getting struggles and screwed over left and right the way it seems, you kind of feel for him, and that's certainly Jeremy Little this season. But he does make it through there with minimal damage. I mean, he already had the back end of that thing concave for most of this race. So you see the 59 of Trevor Hunt there getting back righted and back going here, but that's going to bring out another quick caution. Now, I don't think the 6 was involved in that one, so I believe he's going to officially get the lucky dog this time. And indeed, he is, as he's trying to work his way around. Not sure what's going on. There we go. Trying to work his way around there and do it quickly enough that he can get into the pit lane this time and get serviced.
Yeah,
so hammer down for the 6.
He's gonna need to obviously pass this opportunity here by catch up to the back of the field. Hopefully, be able to get back around there to get in and get his truck serviced. As he was, probably getting to that point where he needs to come in, but he's able to get around as trying to find out where he needs to go. Let the 17 go by. It's gonna come down to it's gonna come down to the pits now. So. Travis Bennett coming down to the pits. The only other person in the pits right now is Justin Kirby, probably getting some more service done as he continues to hopefully get out there and just keep running laps, and whether it's practice or just kind of help his brother out, or Brent, which is sitting up there in second place right now. But Travis getting his lap back, getting back in the lead lap, able to he's gonna hurry up, get some tires, and before these guys get going here, he's got rights on already. Lefts are going up right now, and these guys are across the start finish line, and the way he goes, so he's gonna make it out back on the lead lap. He's got nice and easy there, so he's gonna have to get back up to speed here real quick. But good job for Travis Bennett, and hopefully he can make his way back up to the field here, as he had a rough start, and like he said, and you could tell in his voice a little bit of frustration from Travis, being that far down, and it almost, when you get to that point, and I've been there, it's just like there's no hope, and then all of a sudden you're back on a lead lap. So it's a good feeling here with plenty of time left, as we're at lap 89 of 175. Chris Bouchard here about to put the gas pedal down to the floorboards as he gets a good start here over the 95 of Brent Kirby. And Carl, did they start single file?
Yeah, they must have changed it to single file, and that'll be the way it is the rest of the race now. Once you changed it, it stays that way. So I think the admin's deciding to maybe to clean this up a little bit. They're going to go single file, and sometimes it actually backfires, and it makes it even worse. But I think it might be the right move here. Maybe not what Travis Bennett wanted at this point. He finally gets on the lead lap, but now he's got a longer line to run through. But he is back from the dead. I mean, you want to talk about perseverance? Yeah, it can happen at short tracks here like Martinsville, but you still need the incidents to happen for you. I mean, you're down 3 laps that early. It's got to be frustrating, and yeah, like you said, Jimmy, you heard it in his voice. But he is no longer down 3 laps. He is on the lead lap, and he's finally got a chance to start passing some trucks for position, not just for fun.
Yeah, and he's gonna quickly go up right now as him and actually, it looks like he just fell behind Trevor Hunt there, as those two will be fighting just a little bit. Trevor going to the underneath of the 8 of Joe Hurd there, back for the 18th position. So these guys are in the back, but they've been mid-pack. Obviously, Travis Bennett has to work his way back up to the field as he started towards the front, and we've seen him up front in many races. So good luck to Travis and working his way back up to the field. There's plenty of race left. As a lot of these guys are battling up here. A lot of close battle here with Grady Gherkin and Jordan Wenzel for third.
The other one to note is right there in 5th place, Christopher now started ninth position. He is up to 5th. Andrew Ratcliffe, the 24, started 18th, and you've seen him all over the place, you know, right in front of the leaders, not in a good way at the start, involved in an incident. So all over the place was that 24 DuPont machine, but as it stands right now with we got 78 laps to go with another caution here.
This time it's TJ DeBlassie.
This time it does involve the 78, so I guess the Demons finally biting themselves here, as we'll see exactly what happened. And looks like that thing just broke loose under braking and could not save the spin right there. So he's going to wash up the track, and most likely it's not going to collect anybody else, which is a good thing for sure for him and for everybody else. He is going to keep it clean. We need to get some fresh rubber on that, as that thing is probably flat spotted pretty good. But all in all, it is nice and safe and clean right there.
Yeah, so
but he's going to find himself in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got to find himself in the back, but you know this right here, what's happening right here, just locking the brakes, letting everybody go by, you know, is the right thing to do. That's a sportsman thing to do. And even here at Martinsville, where track positions are paramount, you know, they'll get everything sorted back out after, you know, all the trucks go by. So if he, you know, belongs back up there in the top 10, then that's where he'll be. But right now, under caution again, lap 190 or at 99 of 175. Chris Bouchard, Brent Kirby, Jordan Wenzel, Grady Gherkin, Christopher, your top 5. Then you have Andrew Ratcliffe, Eric Jeffers, Jerry West, Jake Lesh, Matthew Greathouse, and for your top 10. Then Jeremy Little, Tony Japs, Robert Colgan, Scott Bolster, Christopher Spencer for 15, and then Travis Bennett, Trevor Hunt, Joe Hurd, TJ DeBlassie, Peter Pazorczyk back in 20th, and then Tim Glass, Justin Kirby, and John Williams for your field here tonight. We only have John Williams Sr. out as he had an early incident there, and he just decided to call it. Maybe he's like me, you know, Carl, just said, I went out there and tried, and yeah, just can't do it tonight, and parked his truck.
Yeah, certainly don't blame him if that's the case. We've been there for sure, but all the rest of these guys are out there, and you got Justin Kirby back there, 18 laps down, Tim Glass 2 laps down, and Pazorczyk 1 lap down. But other than that, the other 19 drivers out there are on the lead lap and still have a chance at it. So we'll see how everything works out, as it looks like the 6 maybe getting some more damage repaired there, coming back out here now on the track and looking to try and make some moves once again. So maybe he didn't have a fast repair and just kind of need to get some more damage repaired. Maybe that's why he wasn't making any kind of moves. But now he is back and hopefully cleaned up, as you know, certainly as the inner reporter will be pulling for him to make his way back up there. Started P6, finds himself back there in 17th, but on the lead lap after a monumental battle to get back on to the lead lap. But out front, and it's been there for most of the race, is Chris Bouchard in 2nd place, the only other leader here tonight, your pole sitter, Brent Kirby. And then you got Jordan Wenzel, Grady Gherkin, Christopher, your top 5, Ratcliffe, Jeffers, West, Lesh, and Greathouse now making his way into the top 10.
The anticipation of the restart is always good.
Yeah, and I think maybe this might be the best time, since we didn't get a chance to earlier. We'll try this one more time and give you a little chance to love to hear it here at Martinsville on this restart.
Okay, cranking her up. looks like we had a caution come out as we're enjoying some of the sights and sounds. And it looks like it was TJ DeBlasi again. Getting in the back of the 6. And then...
tries to clear himself and move up, and it looked like at the same time the 6 was moving down for the corner. And both of them getting together and involved in that. And I feel like for the 78 there, it might be the whole Beetlejuice thing. We said his name one too many times, and now he's the one being involved in the wrecks instead of the wrecks happening around him. So, yeah, just a bit of a rough one there as he got sent into the outside wall. So hopefully he can get that thing cleaned up. Hopefully he's got a fast repair in hand. But you know, he was running pretty well, running up there towards the front, and now he's gonna have to fight his way back up there, as he is back in 16th still. As it looks like Porzuchek gonna get the lucky dog here, and now we will be back to 19 drivers on the lead lap, as Tim Glass and Trevor Hunt have both fallen back there 2 laps down now. But Porzuchek gonna get the wave around as the lucky dog and join the rest of these guys. And looks like Spencer in the pits in 19th, and he is gonna get back out. So yeah, we will have 19 drivers still on the lead lap here. Excuse me. And we've got less than 70 laps to go now. Still far from go time for these guys, but I think since the green flag dropped at the beginning of this race, it's been go time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hard racing, and you know, we've been here before, Carl. We've ran races here, and you know, any league you're with, everybody is so competitive. It's one of the reasons that, you know, we're out here running this simulator and these, you know, cars or trucks or whatever your flavor is for the series that you're in. And these guys are just trying so hard, and none of this is malicious or anything like that. It's just trying to push the car or truck to its limits and to, you know, get the best position and finish possible. And these guys are having fun doing it, and some people are better at short tracks and some people are better at long tracks. Some people just have a lot of luck, as you know, it's pretty much 95% skill and 5% luck, and if your luck's not rolling with you, you know, you're in the back. So just kind of like, you know, what happened to TJ, you know, where everybody was kind of spinning around him and now being in the spins himself. So hopefully he can get that turned around and move back up through the field, but he has to be patient, you know, and work his way through the field, or the accidents will continue to roll with the 78. But Chris Bouchard still keeping it out front in that number 28, with Brett Kirby in second, Grady Gherkin in third, Jordan Wenzel in fourth, Christopher in fifth, Andrew Ratcliffe in sixth, Eric Jeffers in seventh, Jerry West eighth, Jake Lesh ninth, and Matthew Greyhouse around your top 10 as a pace truck is now in.
Yeah, getting ready to go back green here. Bouchard are going to lead him back to green again. Again, he's on the loud pedal, nice and early, getting a great jump here. Kirby going to follow him into turn 1, followed by Gherkin, Wenzel, and Stouffer. Now Ratcliffe gets the inside of Stouffer. Battle for the top 5 here, as Ratcliffe going to dive down to the inside on your points leader, and he is going to take that position away. So move the 24 now up into the top 5. Biggest mover of the race, actually tied with Jerry West. Both those guys up 13 positions, as West is now up into 7th place. Right behind him was Lesh, as he was in 9th place, doing battle right now with Eric Jeffers, as those guys are side by side. Got a little curve there from Lesh, to slow him up a little bit down the front stretch, and he is going to give up that position. But Lesh still doing a good job here in 9th after some early struggles. Now Greathouse going to look to the inside of Lesh, and not going to be there. Lesh going to slam the door and hold on to 9th for the time being, but that battle is certainly heating up. Right behind him, you got the 55 of Little and the 19 of Japs doing some battle right there as well.
I just hop on board with Matt Greyhouse as he's putting the pressure on Jake there, trying to get that 9th spot away from him, but Jake wanting a clean garage tonight and trying to make his way up front and doing a pretty decent job so far in that 9th position, but won't be good enough to claim his prize. But back behind Matt Grayhouse, you have Jeremy Little, able to kind of recuperate just a little bit with but right now he's fighting with Tony Japs in that 19 tight car.
Yeah, I think we need to plead with Melinda for him to get a clean garage for a top 5, as he's been doing some great work out there. And if he gets a top 5, he'd at least be up 10 positions from his starting spot. So that's well deserved right there. But either way, a good run here inside the top 10 so far. But plenty of racing still to be had here yet, and plenty of trucks to show some more wear on it. As you see, that 55 has had that caved-in back end from pretty much from the beginning. He might have started the race with that caved-in back end the way it seems, but still doing a pretty good job hanging on to 11th place right now, trying to work his way back into the top 10. Looking back here at the 45 of Scott Bolster here in 17th position, and trying to maybe run away from the guy two cars behind him. He got Trevor Hunt, the 59, right behind him. He's 2 laps down, but then right behind him is De Blasi, and he seems to be the curse here tonight, unfortunately. And again, no offense to him, but it seemed like a trend at the beginning, and he was on the good side of it, but not on the good side is Tony Japs on the backstretch there. Looks like he's going to get back going, and we may be caution free for that one, as we'll see what happened here. He gets into the outside wall, and you see the 79 of Colgan tries to go down low, but the bounce off the outside wall sends him right into Colgan. We will stay green for that one, and Japs will get back going, but now it looks like the yellow flag will be thrown as
Eric
Jeffers has been spun around. So we'll have to take a look at what happened on that one, as that was his own doing. Again, just under braking. The truck checks out on him, but these guys do a fantastic job dodging and diving around him to avoid any kind of incidents, and you can't really say enough about that right there, Jimmy. I mean, these guys could easily, get into one another, get into the 4, whatever it is, but these guys are doing a fantastic job avoiding the wreck. So you see the 17 stopped up on top right there of Chris Spencer.
Yeah.
He could have easily kept going and gotten on a wall or gotten into somebody else. So, the courtesy that these guys have for each other is paramount right now. But now we see some guys taking a pit road and some guys not. As you see, second place, Chris Bouchard into pit lane. You got Gherkin coming into pit lane, Stouffer into pit lane, Greathouse, Little, but Kirby, Wenzel, looks like Lesh, Hurd, Bennett, all going to stay out. Those guys will be your top 5 now, as Glass going to get a wave around here as lucky dog. So interesting strategy here, as we are down to going to be less than 50 laps to go when we get back going here. I seen Brzucek there pitting from inside the top 10, and he's probably just happy that he finally gets to pit on the lead lap here. It's been a while since Spider-Man's been on the pit, the lead lap here and being able to pit. But now that's going to put Bouchard way back there in 10th place, the way it's going to shake out to. Kirby going to get out there with some fresh air once again. Wenzel still in second, still has, unless I'm mistaken, I believe it's only been Kirby and Bouchard leading the laps here tonight. So We'll see if anybody else can challenge them, but right now it's going to be the 95 back at the point.
Yeah, so I'll just go ahead and pull up when, the last time people were in, as obviously you have Christopher Bouchard, Grady Gherkin, Andrew Ratcliffe, Chris Stouffer, Jerry West, Matt Grayhouse, Jeremy Little, Eric Jeffers, and Tony Japs, and Peter Brzucek, all kind of came in just right there at lap 123. Brent Kirby, Jordan Wenzel, Jake Lesh have, last time they were in was lap 68, and then you have Joe Hurd with 98 and Travis Bennett back there on 99, as he had to work his way kind of through the field and whatnot. So right now, Travis Bennett and that 6 up in that 5th spot, so doing a good job from being 3 laps down to be sitting in 5th. And I know right now those guys that took tires at just now from the guys that took tires at lap around 100. That's a big difference, and especially here at Martinsville. I know we've had some caution here, so they've had time for the tires to kind of cool down and not wear down too bad, so they might be able to hold off, but then fresh tires should be eaten up, so those guys with the fresh tires have got to be careful, as the guys at the front do have some older tires. But right now, Brent Kirby's out front. Last time he was in the pits was lap 68. So let's see how Brent Kirby can hold off this field here with these the guys here with the newer tires will be coming up through.
Big early jump there by Kirby, and I know we're known for giving people nicknames. I feel like we got to give a nickname to Travis Bennett, and I don't think anything could be better than Lazarus, as he has been brought back from the dead. 3 laps down and now in the top 5. He's got fresher tires than the guys in front of. Excuse me. In front of him, I'm losing my voice. I'm not excited that Travis Bennett got back into this thing. But yeah, just a fantastic job of just, again, perseverance and just sticking with it and just plugging away and doing what you got to do. But now we'll see what these guys can do, as it looks like Gherkin has gotten past Bouchard, now working on Colgan on the inside, as these guys are trying to work their way through the field with those fresher tires, as Bouchard clicking away back and forth here on your screen, just really blinking out pretty badly the way it seems, and I'd be scared to drive around him at this point. But these guys are doing a fantastic job so far, as Gherkin has moved himself up into 8th spot. Bouchard now on the inside. He's going to get past Colgan. He's going to move into 9th. Now looks like Ratcliffe going to move to the inside of Colgan as well. So those guys are starting to make their moves up through these guys that have pitted a little bit later than them, as the 78 gets a little sideways. He's going to check up the field there a little bit. And now West's going to dive to the inside. That got a little tight there. But West looks like he's going to make the pass off the corner, but that was certainly a little touchy right there. Colgan thought about it for a second, but he's going to back out of it, as the 51 of Great House now on the inside of Spencer. Going to make that move, and now he's going to look for a 2-for-1, but right there, Joe Hurd down on the inside and giving up a top 5 or 6 position right there. Just getting a little bit too goosey with the throttle coming off the corner, and going to tag the inside wall a little bit.
Yeah, the 24 got it in the back of the 28 there just a little bit as they were checking up for the 8. And it's the 8. It sits there, kind of lets everybody go by. We'll go play this out. Yeah.
He almost, I was going to say, he almost backed up in the Japs, and I'd seen a little sparks fly, so might have been just a little bit too close for comfort there. But that is gonna reset the field one more time, and it looks like the leaders are still content with keeping that track position, and it's worked out so far, as like Jimmy pointed out, the top 3 last pitted on lap 68, and then 4th place Travis Bennett pitted on lap 99, Bolster in 5th pitted on 108. And then the rest of the field pretty much has pitted on lap 123 or later. So a lot of guys with some fresher tires that can try and make some moves later in the race, but they need the green flags to do it, as Tim Glass now going to rejoin the field on the lead lap. We're back to 20 cars on the lead lap. Trevor Hunt is 2 laps down in 21st. Justin Kirby 18 laps down in 22nd. But we are starting to get a little bit closer to the end here of this race. We're going to have 40 laps to go next time by, and it's still one of the only 2 guys that have led this race, and that is Brent Kirby out there. He was your pole sitter, leading right now over Wenzel, Lesh, Bennett, Bolster, your top 5, with Gherkin, Bouchard, Ratcliffe, Stouffer, and West, your top 10.
Yeah, and even the guys that aren't in the top 10, Robert Colgan, Matt Greathouse, Jeremy Little, Eric Jeffers, Tony Chaps, Peter Pasuchik, Chris Spencer, TJ Dablowski, Joe Hurd, Tim Glass, for your top 20, and Trevor Hunt, Justin Kirby, and John Williams, the rest of your field. But everybody out here just, for the most part, yeah, they've had a few cautions, some spins and stuff, and that just, nobody's professional here. Everybody out here just having fun, and it's short track racing, and I know it's it's very rare that a short track just goes green from start to finish. I've seen it happen. I've been in a race where it happens, and it's been like, oh, okay. And the one time that I did it was in an official even, and that's even rarer because you don't race around people in the official very often. It gets hard to even get in like the same race with some of the same people unless you're like running them back to back to back to back to back, and then you start to get to know the guys and around your I rating and whatnot. But it's a tough feat here, and I mean they've had a green flag stop here, and or no, they haven't had a green flag stop, but they've had their pit stops and they're using their strategy to like when they came in. So that's why we have Brent Kirby out front and Chris Bouchard back at 7th.
The pace truck is in. Kirby back on the loud pedal. We're back racing here at Martinsville, and a good jump there from Kirby. Gets him a decent lead here over Wenzel as they go through 1 and 2. As it looks like Bouchard now going to go to work right away on Gherkin. He knows he's one of his toughest competitors here with the fresher tires. Gherkin going to try and go around the outside of Bolster. So he's going to play defense by playing offense here, as he's going to try and work on that 45 on the outside. And that's helping him out twofold because it's holding that 45 down there and blocking off the 28. So if he can get this pass down, that is a big pass, and it looks like he is going to, as long as he gets a decent run off the corner. So the little pickle that could moves himself up there into the top 5 around Bolster. Now Bouchard going to follow suit on the outside, but Bolster going to fight on the inside for his life and hold on as long as he can. He does have, decent tires here.
Locking it up.
As Bolster gets into Bouchard there a little bit. Now some wrecking going on behind.
79.
As the 79 of Colgan getting involved in that one. We'll see what brought that incident out there. But these guys are certainly intensely here at the end of this race.
Yeah, everybody's starting to really look for them spots, as it looks like the 79 coming down. 19 was not quite clear of the 19. Gets spun around. 52 goes low. Looks like the 17 able to check up. The 78 able to check up. Touches the 17 just a little bit. 19 tagging the 79 there just ever so slightly, and everybody just from that point there kind of checks up and is able to avoid whatever the remains are of the incident. But we are on lap 142, Carl, so this thing is coming down to a close here. Brent Kirby still up front, Jordan Wenzel, Jake Lesh in 3rd, Travis Bennett in 4th, Grady Gherkin in 5th, Chris Bouchard in 6th, Scott Bolster in 7th, Chris Stouffer in 8th, Jerry West in 9th, and Andrew Ratcliffe has fallen back to 10th. After kind of getting checked up there just a little bit. I seen him lock up his tires there in the one corner, he's keeping himself out of trouble. But Jake Letts trying to get that number 7 on the front. That garage is looking kind of clean here for me.
Yeah, I mean, these guys have clearly made the right decision up to this point. They have the top 3 have been the top 3 on these last couple restarts here. Granted, it certainly helps that is single file restarts, but again, they have the oldest tires in the field by 31 laps, and that is only on one person. That is on Travis Bennett, who is in 4th place. So those four drivers right there combined have the oldest tires in the race. The next closest one is Scott Bolster. He pitted on lap 108. That is 9 laps newer than those guys, or than Travis Bennett. And then the rest of the guys are on 123, so they got roughly 50, 60 lap newer tires than these leaders. But track position has been very big here, and the tires holding on pretty well for these front 3 guys, enough that they have yet to be passed by even a guy with 31 lap newer tires in Travis Bennett. So we'll see how long they can hold on to the tires, to the positions, everything, as we are now going to be down to 31 laps to go right now. It'll be less than 30 to go when we take the green flag, but it is still Brent Kirby out there in the lead from the pole, but he had plenty of time where he was running behind. Chris Bouchard has now worked his way back up into 6th place, but He's going to have to try and make that move again on Grady Gherkin here, as both those guys have the same tires, and neither of them have been able to get away from each other pretty much the entire race.
Yeah, they're running pretty quick and pretty much the same lap times. As you can tell, they're right next to each other. They pitted at the same time. They're on the same pit strategy with tires. The lights are off on the pace truck. They are heading down the backstretch now as the pace truck will be getting ready to get in. Brent Kirby will be able to go when he is ready to press that loud pedal here to lead these guys down to start the complete lap 146 and see if they can wrap this thing up here.
And on the loud pedal he is to take a nice jump once again on Jordan Wenzel heading down into turn 1. You see how long these guys take to get racy, and not long at all, as already Bouchard goes to the outside and Gherkin goes to the inside again, and now he finds himself back on the outside, and I thought he was going to do a little offense for defense once again, but he's going to hope that the 6 of Bennett can hold off the 28 of Bouchard, but he cannot for too long, unless he does that right there, gets into the Bouchard. He gets it straightened up, and the field gets a little mixed up, but we are still green here, so that got very testy there coming off of turn 4, but everybody keeps it straight, and Bouchard lives to fight another day, but those tires got to be a little bit angrier right now as he tries to make the move now, stay outside of Ratcliffe and try and make the move on Stouffer. But up front, it is still Kirby ahead of Wenzel now by a half a second, who is a half a second ahead of Lesh, and then another 0.7 of a second back to Bennett in 4th, Gherkin in 5th. And the 55 a little now.
Oh no!
Finally has a clean truck and goes around in turn 2. And I don't think there was anything that caused it other than just again getting into the corner and just the truck not being happy with the entry and just loops itself. It's good to finally see that 55 clean again, but not the way you want to see him right there, not pointing in the right direction. Looks like everybody, maybe not, as de Blasi will get in the back of the 55. Looks like Glass will get around him, but that was a pretty hard shot and wrinkled up the back end once again of that 55. So he's going to have to probably bring that in and get a little bit of work done at least. Just another sad day for Little. I mean, I guess I'll take the blame since I said his name, even though I said I wasn't going to. But man, it's just it's rough week after week.
Yeah, you and Jeremy are gonna have some words after the race, I would imagine, as he's not having a great race here, as he had a pretty decent start here, as you know, for a guy that like pretty much had like, you know, pole after pole after pole from the rip, and then just you know, so from good luck to bad luck, not being able to finish the race, so has been able to get some great starts here, but the person having a good start and so far a great race is Brent Kirby, as he's sitting in first position with Jordan Wenzel in 2nd, Jake Lesh in 3rd. Travis Bennett has worked his way up to 4th with Grady Gherkin in 5th, Christopher in 6th, Andrew Ratcliffe in 7th, and Chris Bouchard is back in 8th, and Matt Greathouse 9th, and Scott Bolster round out your top 10.
So now we are going to have another restart here with about 20 laps to go.
I just seen this come up, and I just wanted to make sure something happened under caution or something. It just blinked out. They call it a crash. Yeah, Chris Bouchard having continuous problems with his internet tonight as he's kind of flashing in and out. But these guys should be getting ready to go back here to green here soon. I'll go ahead and fresh on Brent, and looks like the lights are still on the truck. They more than likely are on 2 laps to go. So they will complete lap 155 this time around. So if they get the 1 to go, they will have a 20-lap shootout. Can Brent Kirby, Jordan Wenzel, and Jake Lesh hold on to those podium positions on them older tires with Travis Bennett behind them in 4th, and then you got Grady Gherkin, Chris Stouffer and 56 looking to use them newer tires to get around these guys. And Chris Richard continue to pop up as a wreck from his blinking.
Yeah, good old SDK not understanding what's going on here, but yeah, we're going to get back going here, and now we got 20 laps to go, so it is officially go time here at Martinsville. It's time to get what you can get, as these cautions are breeding cautions right now, so you need to get as many positions as you can quickly. And quickly is Brent Kirby on the loud pedal, getting back going here and getting a nice lead over Wenzel as he tries to check out from Lesh and Bennett and Gherkin and everybody else that is running hard, hunting these guys down. They got the fresher tires, but can they make the moves, and can they make them stick, as we got basically a 3-truck battle here between Ratcliffe, Stouffer, and Bouchard, as these guys are battling for 6th, 7th, and 8th position right now. Looks like Bouchard is still on the inside of Stouffer, now finally going to make a pass and clear the 13. But can he make it all the way up to the front and battle Kirby? I'm not sure if he can. And I never thought a pit stop, that late in the race, but, also that early in the race, really the leader that much. But, Bouchard made that pit stop on 23.
A shot from 6th to Lesh as he gets sent around.
And another hit there, it's sent sideways. So it is getting up at the front.
Travis had a great run. 7 just had to check up.
Yeah, Lesh kind of got into the corner a little wonky and went up the track a little bit. And the 6, was getting hard to try to make that. So it was just kind of a rough situation for both the 6 and the 7 in there. But works for the 7. He is going to get set back to the field now after pretty good looking run there in the top 5. He's going to way back in that 19th position. Now going to get it. Let me try that again. I'm going to go ahead and go into the pits and get some repairs and some fresh tires. So one of your drivers that pit on lap 68 for those tires has now fallen to the wayside in Jake Lesh, and now it's down to 2, Brent Kirby and Jordan Wenzel. Travis Bennett is out there on those tires from lap 99 in 3rd place. But right behind them now, you have Gherkin, Ratcliffe, Bouchard, Stouffer, Greathouse, Bolster, and West, all trying to move their way up through the field. They all got fresher tires. But again, can you make the pass and can you make it stick? Some guys are having trouble doing that, clearly. And it seems like we get 2, 3, 4 green lap, and then right back to a caution. So we're going to have close to 10 laps to go when we go green this last time, or maybe not last time, but this next time when we go green.
Yeah, the race is coming down to a close here. These guys want to finish as high as they can. If you're enjoying everything that you're seeing so far, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Maybe hit the sub button, as we're really closing in our goal of 300. As we just broke 279 here this week, and so a few more individuals and we'll reach our goal for the years here at CRN, as we continue to give you live coverage of the Man Cave After Dark Truck Series, along with other series that we have going on, as we have a few teams here at CRN that cover multiple races. Even like tonight we had almost like a dual header. So as we're over here with the you guys over here at UCRL, the other team was over at the Core Racing League covering their ARCA series. So a lot of good racing going on here at CRN. And if you just like watching some of these amateurs and run these simulator races, and some decent broadcasting, just come check us out at CRN and see what we got to offer. But anyways, we're getting ready to go back here green, and Brent Kirby and Jordan Wetzel, Travis Bennett, your top 3 currently, looking to wrap this thing up and keep these podium positions away from the boys that decided to pit on lap 123 of Grady Gherkin, Andrew Radcliffe, Chris Bouchard, Chris Stouffer, Matt Greathouse, Scott Bolster, and Jerry West round out your top 10.
As they head into turn 3 one more time, We will have 12 laps to go at the line. Kirby nice and early on the restart here, making sure not to spin the tires, does a great job. You see Wenzel diving to the inside, blocking that inside line on Bennett as Gherkin, Ratcliffe, and Bouchard stuck to the back of them. It is a 6-truck breakaway here on the restart. Decent amount of gap there back to Greathouse there in 7th. But it is still all Kirby out front. Now Bouchard, you look to the inside, not much room there inside of Ratcliffe, and it looks like they might have got together a little bit, but it does get shaken out. And Bouchard still dealing with some internet issues, but we do get cleared up there and still back racing. And looked like Gherkin was thinking about the inside of Bennett there, but not close enough just yet. Could be a battle here for the lead pretty soon, but losing it out of turn 2, getting into Bouchard and then getting into Greathouse is Wenzel.
Easy. There you go.
And that is a big one and late here, as that will take out another driver with the lap 68 tires. And again, just looked like he got close to the 95. He was sniffing that lead, tried to grab just a little bit too much throttle, and around goes the 81, almost saves it, but then it spins out a little bit more and collects Matthew Greathouse in a big way there.
Yeah, he thought about trying to spin it around, but stopped with better judgment there and not getting into anybody else as Matt Greathouse got into him. It looks like that truck was smoking a little bit, so hopefully the 81 has a fast repair and is able to come down the pits and be able to finish this race up. But we do have a lot of people still on the lead lap, as we have... what do we got? 17 people still in the lead lap, so Jake Lesh was the latest of our victims, falling 2 laps down. Currently sitting in 18th position. We have, looks like Matt Greathouse is going to park for the night. TJ DeBlasi is in the pits still. Eric Jeffers... excuse me. Eric Jeffers is out. Justin Kirby is still out there running, trying to get some of his laps back. And John Williams is out, but right now Brent Kirby's still up front, making them all tires work. Travis Bennett in 2nd, Grady Gherkin in 3rd, Andrew Ratcliffe in 4th, Chris Bouchard in 5th, Jerry West in 6th, Scott Bolster 7th, Peter Preservchek as I came back. He's up in the top 10 in 8th position now. So Chris Spencer's in 9th and Chris Stouffer back in 10th.
So Wenzel did have a fast repair to use, and he used it. And it seemed like just as we got 21 drivers back on the lead lap for a brief moment, we are back to only 17, as Jimmy pointed out, and everybody just getting settled back in line here. But we are going to have less than 5 laps to go. The pace truck lights are still on here, so we'll go around for one more pace lap here before we get back going. And it is going to be Brett Kirby still doing yeoman's work out there with those old tires. Travis Bennett doing just as much work, and there's been a couple times I wanted to bring him back in here, but I don't. I want to let him do what he can. He's doing a fantastic job right now. Did a great job at working his way back up there. Hopefully he can hang on, and we'll talk to him in the top 3 at the end. We'll save it for that. I think that'll be one heck of an interview for sure. But pace truck lights are now off. These guys will get filed in, as they have been single file for quite some time now, and that is helping out the 95 of Brent Kirby. As we have 5 to go, it's going to be 4 to go at the line, and if it wasn't go time before, Jimmy, it is now.
There ain't no better time to go than now, as these guys head down the backstretch here, following the pace car. Hopefully that was the last caution. Brent Kirby trying to finish this thing up, and Travis Bennett in 2nd and Grady Gherkin in 3rd.
And back on the loud pedal is Kirby. Great jump there for him, and really for everybody in the top 5 there. West now moving his way into 6th, and had a little bit slower of a restart, but he joins the pack right up front there as he tries to run down the rest of these guys as well. Remember, only 4 laps to go. Now at the line here, 3 to go. Who's got the move? Does anybody have anything for Kirby? Can anybody get past the Bennett to even get to him right now? We got 3 to go here at Martinsville. Down the back stretch. And now West going to get to the inside of Bouchard. Bouchard going to drive it deep into the corner, but West going to get to the inside. Now 2 to go as Kirby still leads it. Bouchard going to get back in front there. Ratcliffe trying to diamond the corner and get down to the inside of Gherkin, but not going to happen just yet. Down into turn 3, it is still Kirby, Bennett, Gherkin, your top 3, Ratcliffe and Bouchard, your top 5. 1 to go. White flag in the air. We finally reached lap 175. It seems like a bit of an endurance race here at Martinsville, as it does at time to time. It did tonight. A little bit of a wiggle there from West. He does save it down the backstretch, but it is going to be the 95 of Brett Kirby from the pole to the win. 95 takes it home here tonight. Travis Bennett, Lazarus comes back from 3 laps down to finish second. The little pickle that could finishes in third. Another great finish there from Gherkin. Ratcliffe, Bouchard round out your top 5. I mean, there may not have been that many fireworks in those last couple laps, but it was certainly interesting the entire race.
I mean, the race was interesting, and a lot of pit strategy came into play. Even though it wasn't under green, when to come in and when not to. Do I have enough gas? How long is this thing gonna last? Brad Kirby has put it to the clinic, using them older tires, using that single file start to his advantage to stay out front. Had plenty of people behind him to keep them guys with the better tires off him, but Travis Bennett was able to hold off that pack, as well as Grady Gherkin finishes 3rd, Andrew Ratcliffe 4th, Chris Bouchard 5th, Jerry West 6th, Scott Bolster finishing in 7th, Peter Suchek in 8th, Christopher Spencer in 9th, Tim Glass 10th, Jeremy Little in 11th, Jordan Wenzel 12th, Robert Colgan 13th, Joe Hurd 14th, Trevor Hunt 15th, Christopher in 16th, Tony Japson 17th, Jake Lesh pulling off a 18th spot right there, and then TJ DeBlasi with some good luck, bad luck. I don't know what he had going on tonight, but not what he wanted, to finish in the 19th. Matt Greathouse parking it right there at the end. Had a pretty good race for the most part. Had some bad luck at the end, and then Eric Jeffers getting wrapped up again in some incidents, finishing 21st. Justin Kirby and Black Magic Motorsports finished in 22nd, and John Williams Sr. With Mid-Pack Motorsports calling it early tonight. And I don't blame you, buddy, as I am not a short track fan myself, but Carl will go ahead and bring in these podium winners here, and we'll get a little bit of point of view from them to see how their race went.
Yeah, just trying to find these guys right now, but I tell you what, the big thing that I take away from this one right here is this is going to shake up the points in a pretty big way here, as your top 2 guys finishing way down in the order. And you got Gherkin finishing 3rd and Ratcliffe finishing 4th. So those guys are going to close in pretty mightily on Stouffer and Jeffers. But let's go ahead and Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and take our 3rd place finisher, Grady Gherkin.
Hey, Grady, it's Jimmy and Carl up in the booth. You copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, that last pit stop that you guys made put you guys on newer tires, but with them single file starts, you weren't able to get around some of them guys that decided to have earlier pit stops on them tires. And did you just too many cautions where you couldn't get around them, or was it just that hard to get underneath them or even pass on the outside?
Yeah, so the pit stop worked good. The tires were great when we first went back to green, and we were making a lot of passes there. But once we had that caution and the tires cooled off, then I noticed after Chris and I battled there for a minute, and then I couldn't seem to gain on the front guys in front of me after that.
Yeah, they were able to, I think because of the cautions and with the nighttime here and being able to race under the lights, they were able to keep enough grip in them tires to just kind of hold you off. And I know it's this track's hard to race, and I've had my issues racing it myself, as I know that usually the bottom line is a little more dominant, but it is possible to get on around on that outside, or if you're at least side by side, you're end up pinching. The guy on the outside is pinching the guy on the inside, but the guy on the inside is kind of holding them off for getting a great run off the corner. So it's like a give and take type of thing, and I know the corners are pretty tricky, but you did a great job. I mean, finishing in third, and then it'd be a great points night for you tonight, as some of the Christopher finishing towards the back a little bit, and so definitely making a great headway for you for the overall championship.
Yeah, from what I was expecting out of tonight, I'll definitely take third place as a win. That I'm okay sitting third here. This race usually ends up with me in the garage, so yeah, it was Martinsville, typical Martinsville, a lot of cautions. But yeah, it was fun. But yeah, if the guy behind you doesn't give you room, but he's trying to defend his bumper too to not get spun, and so that's Martinsville. But I'm just glad we survived with minimal damage, and I'll take that third place any day here.
Yeah, I would take a third place on any short track myself. So again, congratulations. I'll give you a little bit of time to give any thanks out there to anybody watching.
Yeah, just thanks to Scott for putting these on. It's a good time. Thank you guys for the broadcasts. Like I said, it's fun to watch these back and, show different things to friends and stuff like that. So, but yeah, and you guys do a good job. So, but yeah, and then just thanks to all the competitors out here. It really is a good time. So, but yeah, just thanks again to you guys too.
We really appreciate the thanks, and we'll let you get out of here and go celebrate with your teammates and friends and family at home.
All right, thanks.
That your third place finisher, the 46 Grady Gherkin. Now we bring in Lazarus, the number 6 Travis Bennett, and brought back from the dead, 3 laps down. I could tell in your voice when we talked to you and you finally got back to 1 lap down that there was no concern that you were going to finish in the top 3 at that point, right?
None at all. Man, you must be a good mind reader, I tell you that. I was just logging laps at that point.
I told Carl, I was like, man, he does not sound happy to be in that car right now. Like, you just tell in your voice that you were frustrated. You're like, I don't even know how I got back here. So, it was good to see you get back in a lead lap and then finish. We know where you're at, but I'll go ahead and let Carl interview you. But, from me, congratulations. I was rooting for you pretty hard there at the end.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, just plain and simple. Talk us through your race. Maybe not so much the beginning of it. I'm sure you don't want to relive that, but just tell us, what it took to get back, 3 laps and then get back all the way to the front and then hold off the guys that had newer tires than you.
Man, I really think it was just all the cautions that kept coming out, because I swear on every restart I had the tail between my legs. I felt like I'm just like, just don't hit me, And of course there was some contact, and it's typical Martinsville, right? Contact with the 7, man, I feel really bad, but I'm looking at the replay now. It looked like he kind of washed up, and we're so close to each other on these restarts. If you bobble just a little bit, and it's over with. And it seems like these trucks can't take a push like you can a Cup car here. As soon as you touch somebody, it's pretty much lights out.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes you don't even have to touch somebody. Netcode will take care of it for you. But, just what an epic comeback. That's you can't say it enough. It takes perseverance, and it takes just determination to just kind of hang in there. And a lot of people can do, like you say, put your tail between your legs and just kind of walk away, being 3 laps down. But you stuck in there. You knew you had a fast truck, and you knew if you had the right amount of cautions, and Martinsville can certainly breed a bunch of cautions. So if there's ever a track to get it back, this is definitely it. But what was it like on the last 20, 30 laps when you guys had to hold off the guys that had 40, 50 lap newer tires than you guys?
To be honest with you, I was just trying to look out my windshield, but every now and then I'd see that 46 of Gherkin dive in, and just, man, it'll keep you shaking for sure. Like you guys were talking about earlier, you almost have to be good at road courses to be good here. And I think it's because you have to hit your marks every time with your braking. And man, I was pretty consistent, I felt, and other people weren't. And the results show for it, I guess.
So now we head to another short track at Lucas Oil before we head to Watkins Glen, which we talked before the race. I'm sure you're going to be looking forward to Watkins Glen as a road course guy. But what do you think your chances are at Lucas Oil? Have you had a chance to test it out and kind of feel out how the truck's running there?
I've ran trucks there in other leagues, but man, if it's going to be anything like my luck here, I guarantee I'll be 3 laps down at the beginning, and I'll come back at the end.
Well, if you want to do it again, I mean, we may not have you as an in-race reporter, but we'll be watching for it for sure, because it was fun to watch and fun to see you make your way all the way back up there. And we were just happy to see you get back on the lead lap, and then all of a sudden at the end where you're up at the front. That was awesome to watch. So congrats once again on the second place, and we'll let you give one more chance to get some shout outs or any thanks you want to give.
Oh, be honest with you, I can't even think right now. I'm still coming off this high right now. Finishing second, I can't believe it, man. But yeah, thanks to Scott, thanks to you guys, everybody at Full Throttle Motorsports. It's a blast.
Yeah, it was certainly a blast watching you guys and all the drivers, let alone yourself. But once again, great job on the second place and just getting one step closer to that first win of the season.
Thanks a lot, man. Can't wait to see the broadcast afterwards. I love watching you guys.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it. All right, we'll let you go ahead and celebrate with the team.
See you, man.
That your second place finisher, the sixth, Travis Lazarus Bennett. And now Jimmy will bring in the winner here tonight. And why don't you go ahead and take Brent Kirby?
Hey, Brent, it's Jimmy and Carl up in the booth. You copy?
I got you, fellas.
Hey, about time you get up here and on the podium is you bringing that 95, using some speed to get you up there in the beginning, keep you up there all night. The smart decision to stay out in them older tires and hold off them guys. How about you give us a little rundown on how your race was? Because for us, I mean, obviously you're out front and we're able to just kind of keep everybody behind you and stay out of the chaos, I guess if you want to call it, as Martinsville can bring sometimes.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I didn't even get a chance to start running my first practice laps till this morning. Was a little under the weather all day, and one thing led to another, and then we ran some practices before the server went live. But yeah, I thought Bouchard was going to be the guy. Tell you the truth, the way he went by me on the outside there, it's like, well, I don't really have a whole lot of choice here. Felt bad, kind of. I brake checked him a couple of times because I missed my entry early, and then he got out by me there, I think after the second or third caution, and I just settled in third, just hoping and praying that my pace long run was going to be enough. And then once the cautions started happening, we knew about how long we could go on fuel, and I figured, well, if we catch a lot of cautions, I want to make sure I'm not buried. So decided to take that set of tires, and that was it. I pretty much made my bet at that point.
Yeah, and the bet that you made was a good one because, I mean, you were able to stay out of the chaos behind you, keep it up front, and guard that bottom line. As looked like the 81 of Jordan Wenzel, just had a little bit of trouble there at the end as he was trying to start looking to take that lead from you, looking for that down the inside, and kind of checked up a little bit and ended up getting spun out, but which sent him towards the back. So Travis Bennett was your next bet, kind of keeping off Chris Bouchard, Andrew Radcliffe, and Grady Gherkin. As those guys, I believe, I think they hurt themselves as much as they all went in together to get new tires, and we're trying to battle each other to get up there on the podium and obviously get past you guys. And I think that just kind of burned up their tires just a little bit too much, not giving them enough time with the cautions in order to get around you. But again, great job on the first place tonight. It was an outstanding job. Any win here on a short track, and especially Martinsville, is a good one. And it just kind of leads you into next week, where next week you're at Lucas Oil Raceway, another short track, only 0.6, but another 175 laps. So how you feeling about next week?
Been a long time since I ran Lucas Oil. Not sure how my pace will be pretty sure my teammates are going to probably look real good there between Trevor and Justin. I think it should be a good race. I think Lucas Oil should race a little bit better than Marty does. And honestly, I was really surprised to see as many cautions as we saw. There's a lot of talent here, and sometimes maybe we get a little more bullheaded than we should, but I can't say enough about the talent level here.
It's amazing. It is amazing. It's fun to watch. You guys are just a blast to watch, and I continuously I can't wait till Tuesday night comes around to just kind of just see how you guys are going to drive and get to know and see you guys from week to week. And, you can see, you're up front or your brother's up front he didn't do very well tonight, but you guys just, back and forth, kind of like a sibling rivalry or whatever. And it's just fun to watch between you guys and your other teammates, and the talent is so good here, and it happens. It's Martinsville, so hopefully if anything happened, everybody can just kind of push it aside and move on to next week, and that's it's kind of short track racing.
Oh, 100%. And with that, I got to really thank Scott for giving us the opportunity to run along with these guys. It's take a lot of pride in running here, and Scott runs a pretty good day ship, a very fair ship, which we've had some with in the past, and very just appreciative of the whole league. All guys, it's been great.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't seen anything but good things. The little bit that I've had to deal with Scott and the rest of the guys here at the league. So again, congrats to yourself, congrats to everybody else out there from the UCRL, and especially the guys that all come out for the Man Cave After Dark Truck Series. We appreciate it here at CRN. So we'll go ahead and let you go, Brent, and celebrate with the rest of your teammates.
I appreciate you, boys. Have a great night.
You too, Brent.
Glad your winner, the 95, Brent Kirby, finally getting it done here, and certainly making a little bit of a statement here on race 8, and maybe looking to do so next week again with his teammates out there at Lucas Oil Speedway. But tonight, Jimmy, I mean, it was Martinsville at its best. I mean, there's not much you can say about it. My disdain for Martinsville, and it's one of those short tracks where you have to be aggressive to make passes, and we've both said it multiple times, just like Brent said there, this league is filled full with talent, but that also leads to a lot of guys being on top of each other because they're all as fast as each other, and you're gonna have to get just that little bit more aggressive to make that pass, and a lot of times that causes a lot of cautions.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that you want the cautions to happen. We know how it works, and as good as iRacing, the iRacing community is just great. And overall, is the sim 100% like flawless? No. And then that's why you see like some of the net codes happening, or maybe some of the maybe there's something not 100%, but either way, it still produces good racing, and just an avenue for people to come out and have a good time and put on, just basically have a good time, and for us to come back and just talk about it and like put a good event on and share it with your family and friends, or even for them to come back here and rewatch this. But Martinsville's Martinsville. It's the paperclip. I hate it. I love to watch it. I mean, it's just one of those places, and continue to just come back here every Tuesday night with the Man Cave After Dark Truck Series and watch these guys race as they continue through their series, as week 8 is now in the books, as they move into week 9 and head over to Lucas Oil Raceway for next week.
Yeah, and that's certainly going to pose its own challenge, a slightly bigger, as it is a 0.6, but it's certainly shaped a lot differently, a lot more cornering and less straightaways, and the groove itself is going to be the exact opposite as well, as unless the setup calls for it, it's going to be a lot of wall riding. There's basically a groove at the top, and that's where you want to be, and you may see some guys diving in and kind of throwing some asphalt slide jobs, and we'll get into that terminology and the crossovers and everything else next week, because you're certainly going to see that done, as most likely everything is going to be up at the wall for the main groove. But it'll be interesting, and I hope you guys join us next week for that, as that'll be race number 9 here in the season for the Man Cave After Dark Truck Series. That's going to do it for myself and Jimmy here at Martinsville. We'll see you at the track.
This one's here for the race sponsor, Jake Less. Leroy Jenkins. Peace.